With me on the show today is Anie Rouleau and Daniele Henkel. I am delighted to have both of you on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's start with, what is a B Corp?
Well, B Corp stands for Benefit Corporation. It's a movement that started in the US, and basically to really you open your status of incorporation. Profit is important. We all agree with that, but not to the detriment of the environment nor the society. So it's managing your business, profit, people, planet. We look at the governance of the company, we look at the community, we look at the products, and we look at the employee. And therefore, we redefine all of the business standards according to a more sustainable platform.
Similar to conscious capitalism.
Absolutely, absolutely. We manage with purpose. We want to make sure that our business is designed to be sustainable, and not just sustainable longevity. The social responsibility of a business is not only profit. So we understand today we need to make money, but like I say, we have other issues also to take care of. So we manage with purpose.
For many people, I don't know that we understand that the responsibility for a traditional C Corp is to maximize return to stockholders.
Absolutely.
The distinction is structural and important, that if you are structured as a C Corp, your goal is maximizing financial returns, not unethical. Being a corporation for good isn't the charter.
No, exactly. When you incorporate your business, the main objective is maximizing the value of the stockholder. That's basically what we learn in finance through university. Yeah. Today, we cannot manage businesses like that. So that's why we have these incorporation businesses, a new form, an hybrid, where you do your incorporation with profit, but you add your social objectives and your environmental objectives. It is all the same.
You converted a C Corp to a B Corp.
Absolutely.
How do you do that?
It's legal. You actually open the status of incorporation to incorp the B certified, meaning if one day, and soon, I will have a board of directors. Today, I'm buying 99% of my suppliers are in Canada, and 90% of all of my products are within 500 kilometers of my head office in Montreal. Okay. That means my board of directors one day could say, Anie, this bottle you're producing downtown Montreal costs you 30 cents. We could have it for 10 cents elsewhere, Mexico, China, Pakistan. And the board has the right to say no, because we are, as a B Corp, favoring the local economy and making sure that we reinvest in our economy. So that's why we structure it legally. It's really to protect the board of directors, the managers, and the CEO.
I love the idea that there is now a structural mechanism to allow CEOs and boards to expand the decision-making. Because conscious capitalism, while it's a movement, isn't a legal structure.
No. And having a legal structure, and on top of it, having a structure for every part of your business really solidifies the foundation of your business. Because as much as my suppliership, like I was saying, is local, I need to have a responsible purchasing policy. We need to have those structure, because that's what, when you hire new people, they can go and continue on your values. Whenever you hire someone, the evaluation of the employee, the handbook of the employee does include your values, your social values, your environmental objectives. So when you do the evaluation every year with your colleagues, you bring up those issues. So it's more than just legal. It's legal, it structures the business, and on top of it, it's organizational. That's it, to really make sure that every department stands behind our value. Marketing, for example, it's responsible marketing. We cannot just sell products to go on the shelf. We've got to talk about life cycle. We've got to talk about plastic footprint. We've got to talk about all of those issues. So that's part now of the structure of the business.
Culture, behavioral, systems, processes, the entire construct is aligned with
my
corporate
values.
structure and your values.
And then you make sure your mission, first and foremost, because it comes up from the CEO, it goes down, you establish your values, then you do your mission and vision on your values, which is very important to me. I had the chance at 42 to start a business with 2 children on my values, not on anyone else's values, but on mine. My willingness to buy local was important, to dress locally was important, to make sure that I re-give in the local economy. For me, it gives me butterflies when I buy my caps and bottles and soap 10 minutes away. That really makes me very happy.
Just to clarify, B Corp doesn't always mean local. No. You're defining it for you as
for my business, exactly. You know, you set up your objectives for the governance, let's say. They will propose B Corp to be transparent. They will also help you see if you want to share your stocks with your employees. For that part, I'm not doing it. I'm not comfortable yet. I'd rather have 100% of the share, but I'm very strong within the community, with the local suppliership. I'm strong with the employees. I'm strong with putting a products out there that is more sustainable. So B Corp gives you a structure, and as a company, you kind of structure it the way you want it also to grow. And I could import a product from China and be a B Corp. That's not about what I'm doing. It's about everything else. It touches the people, it touches your community, your suppliership, your governance. It's holistic. It's in the entire businesses.
It sounds like the distinction between B Corp and C Corp is one is a benefit and one is solely driven by maximizing stakeholder value.
Absolutely.
And so you define what benefit means within the construct of the legal definition.
And it has to be also socially and environmentally driven.
Okay.
That's really
that
the
is
two
the
basic.
definition.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Why did you choose to certify your business as a B Corp?
First of all, I have to say that after a trip around the world for 18 months, there was one common thing that I saw. It was the environment being in every country I visited. So first, I knew that I wanted to start a business with a good impact on the environment. That was something, I really wanted to do. And once I started the business, even if my values were in line, the product was in line, I needed a structure. And when I discovered B Corp, I figured that I would be able to grow my business on very strong basis. I could also, for me, attract people with the same values. And growing a business with people that believes in the same values for me was important. And I realized the generation, the Z coming out, they want to work for people that they have the same values, that they're in line with their project. They want to buy a product that has social and environmental benefits. It's not about just the structure. It's about listening what the people want to get involved with. So for me, I don't want to be a soap company. That's never been my goal in life. I'm part of an industry that creates a lot of plastic packaging. So I had the opportunity to start a business where I could be part of the solution and use my business as a force for good, which is the tagline of a B Corp. So that's why I certified B Corp.
Danielle, jump in here and please join the conversation. How do you connect with the idea of a B Corp?
Well, I think I have started my business about 24 years ago. And without having the tools that we have today, the mentors, the association or corporation that help us to really be more structured and like B Corp, it was within me and my values, because when I started my business, it was all about non-invasive, non-surgical, completely natural, and in respect with the body. So 24 years ago. Sometimes when you're part of something within yourself, you don't know how to express it because it is about you. It is your values. Entrepreneurs, they express their dreams and their passion by going and doing it. And so creating their own company. So my company has actually very much the same values that you heard with Anie. And Anie and I are friends, and we collaborate in many different things that had to do with youth and businesses and mentoring and environment, sustainability. Someone told me about a few months ago, they said, but Mrs. Henkel, you're your company and what you've been doing is technology. It's a green technology. And I said, yeah, actually, it's true. Because I do produce cosmetic products. I have 9 products, but we did them from Montreal, from Quebec. The ingredients are mainly also from Canada. But we have decided, even though it was going to be costly or more expensive, we decided that we want to go that route. We have today the obligation. We need to call on the conscience of the buyers, the makers, the doers, and the one that have this obligation of delivering a product or service with conscience, with the fact that we can't anymore do things the way we were doing them. It's not possible. It's not acceptable, actually.
It's not acceptable.
It's not acceptable. And it's not just because the young people are demanding it. It is just because you can't. You cannot see what's happening and not react or pro-react. That's what we do as entrepreneurs. We create, we co-create. We have actually the opportunity and the duty to just call on everyone and say, hey, you want to be part of this? Because if you don't, like Anie was saying before, you will not be part of this economy anymore. So you choose. But we cannot be afraid anymore to speak up. We can't. This is not possible.
We have the opportunity to co-create. So often we, as people who drive into our garages and we vote in elections, that seems so far away, and we may not choose to be a member of a city council, and we have a job, we don't own a company, we may feel disconnected from the decision making. And yet what I hear is every product we buy, every investment dollar we put in our 401k, every choice we make, we get to vote.
We do. We get to vote, but we also have to now really think more clearly that everything that is happening around us, everything we have, the people we vote for, the mayors that we have, the product we have and services we have, it's because of us. It's us. We decide what kind of society we want. And we have a great opportunity. It's actually to be no more an observer, but an actor of our own decisions. We have the power to do. Anie was talking before that her decision was to do things differently with the values in respect with the environment. But what I was thinking when she was talking is she has and she will need to be supported by everyone that buys these products. They need to be as cautious and as conscious of their role, because we will not stay in business if we don't have buyers, if we don't have the community that support us. So yes, we do face giant companies that have humongous tools for marketing to try to invade our lives and say, this is what you need to buy. But today's day, no. I think we can make our own decision. We are smart enough. I disagree when they say, yeah, but the social media and this. Why? Are we that stupid? Are we that followers? Can't we make our own decision? What else do we need to see what's happening in the world to make the right decision? And it is up to us as a community, as a society.
I know in my community there are small business days. After Black Friday, then there's Small Business Monday or something like that. You're going to buy some stuff from Amazon, and then you're going to buy some stuff from your community. And it's probably always going to be a mix.
Yeah.
But let's make sure that we keep local business in that mix as prominent. Frankly, it should be Small Business Wednesday and then Black Friday.
It should be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then only one day Black Friday. But it's a great point, Anie, because
change is coming.
It is, but it's too slow. I think it is too slow, Anie. We need to speak up. We need to speak louder. We can't just keep doing what we're doing. You're working very hard. She's working very hard. We're working very hard. You have so many great companies that are doing the right thing, but nobody hears about them. You know why? Because they're working hard doing what they're doing. They're not out there speaking to people. So we need to find them and we need to be aware of this. The other thing is, I have a message for our young people. It's beautiful to see them voting and going in the streets now and speaking up about the climate. I applaud that. But my concern is when they go home that same day, what they do is they go back on their computer and they order things from all these giant companies. There is a disconnect between the actions that we have and the doing that we do. So no, it's no, 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 no. If you want to help your society, the climate, and everything around, then why don't you buy local? Why don't you make sure that what you're buying is in line with your values, what you're proning now, what you're talking about now? It's too easy to just push on the button and say send, and I just bought it because it's less expensive.
Or people aren't aware. I shop at a farmer's market, and then I shop at a local grocery store where it says on the packaging, this one is local, this one is from. So if I want strawberries in the middle of the winter, they're not coming from Ohio.
No.
So I get to make that choice.
Yeah.
And I like that I have the option.
Yeah.
But I also have the option to find something
Thank you.
that comes
From home, from your community. What you just said, it's actually the way I lived my entire life. It's about choice. I believe that we all have the choice or choices. What I don't like is when someone is trying to shovel something into my throat, trying to tell me that this is the only way, or this is the only product, or this is the only thing that you can have. It's not true. We need to have the choice, and we need to make the right choice. If the choice is to buy on internet, so be it. But please, then don't say that you are participating to saving the world and the planet and our kids and our grandchildren. That's not true. So at least admit it.
And it's not an either or in many cases, right? It's a both.
It's both.
I think as a business owner, we both, Danielle and I, have great opportunities to be influencers. And that's it. And working more and more women, men, entrepreneurs that do have that same aspiration where it's all in our collective interest to act that way and to act more sustainably and responsibly. And we're very lucky to be able to be in the forefront and be natural ambassadors for a big movement right now. No, it's not going quick. Yes, it has to be in the mixed, but we do see the changes. And at some point, that change will be much quicker. Because since, for me, 18 months, I've seen a tremendous switch in people's consuming habits. They want to consume less and better.
You know, it's interesting being at this conference because each year there's a bit of a different focus depending on where we're meeting, but also the evolution of consciousness over the 5 years that I've been doing these interviews. We weren't talking B Corps 5 years ago. We weren't talking
Sustainability and
not as much. A little bit.
No, because they were, you know what, they were not embedded in the business model. It's always been an add-on, social responsibility or the corporate response. It's always been an add-on. Oh, you are in charge of sustainability. But now at that conference and where I just came from, you feel now it's being part of the business model. And that's a total different approach.
The legal structure that says that it is okay for me as a corporation now to act for the benefit of a larger group of stakeholders. Because legally, boards of directors and CEOs had to focus on maximizing profit.
Absolutely.
As long as that was the case, corporations were required to act in that way.
Exactly.
But I think the change comes also from the fact that all these environmental things were the work of organizations and so on. Today, it's no longer that. It's
the grassroots.
It's the grassroots. It's collective.
And entrepreneurs.
And
Not just those
No,
Exactly.
No, absolutely not. It's the main. Yep.
Anie, when you started or shifted your company to a B Corp, that took, I'm guessing, a fair amount of courage to deviate from what is normal in your community.
Yes, and mostly also where people are not ready for you to talk about those social and environmental issues. The biggest people against it were the financial, the bankers, and everyone that would support me financially didn't think that was a good idea because you're postponing profit, because you're not going after maximizing your profit
And they wanna get
short
paid.
term. And they want to get paid and they don't quite understand. So to a point of starting a business and right away establishing your structure as a B Corp was in 2014 unheard of. We were maybe a few companies in Canada that actually were B Corp. We were meeting on maybe once a month. We were 3 around the table. It was
Really?
Oh no, absolutely. I was right at the beginning of the movement. But after that, being able to have the courage to stand behind your values, I don't know if that was such a big courage because I was managing with my own values. I would come back at home at night where I saw the kids composting. I remember my little boy had bought one day Tic Tacs. He didn't like that. But he put all the Tic Tacs in the compost and the packaging in the recycling. And I said, okay, you know what? That's why we're doing it. And that's why we'll fight for it. Because my father, lucky enough to grow up in an entrepreneurial environment where both my mom and my dad had businesses. And at 10 years old, I realized that an entrepreneur, first of all, to have your own business, you could support your family. That was the first thing. But secondly, the entrepreneur was involved in the community. My father was president of the Lion Clubs, and my mother was in charge of theater, and my father would organize the Christmas parade. And I even remember one day there was a big arrival of Cambodian people by boat. And my father, with other people from the village, bought a house to be able to receive a family of 15 people. And we kind of said, oh my God, the entrepreneur, I personally said the entrepreneur is more than managing a business. They're involved in the community. So did it take me a lot of courage? I wanted that role model. I wanted to be him. He told me, Anie, always leave more to the next generation than what you've received. And I didn't take this as profit or money. I took it as leaving something, a better legacy, leaving a heritage that my kids would be proud of. And you know what? At 42, when you start your own business, I had the privilege to be able to run my business on these issues. So yeah, maybe courage back then, but today very happy because we end up being leaders that are more authentic, that manages business with a real desire to change. And people, with the next generation, or not just the next, I want to say everyone can see through the big companies now. They will research, they will see if you're authentic, they will see if you're really transparent, and your storytelling really matters. And like I said, I just don't sell just soap today. I sell change of habits. I sell more than just a product.
You sell respect.
Yeah.
You sell respect for everything.
So one more question for you, and then Danielle, I'm going to ask you the same thing. You've talked about some of your objectives in starting your business. Is there anything else you want to share? You've talked about leaving a legacy. You've talked about responsible packaging. You've talked about buying locally. What else?
Changing consumers' habit. This is my vision. This is my long-term vision because we are in a time where, for me and my industry, we are creating a big plastic footprint. So we need to be able to offer products that has less plastic packaging, that has no packaging, and we can really change consumers' habit. So my vision long-term is definitely to be part of a movement where we change these habits.
As we're thinking about the global climate change and the global impact on the climate, whether it's carbon footprint or plastic footprint, this seems foundational.
And I cannot do this alone. So let's start with my business, with the people. If I can be a reference or an influencer just with my own colleagues, that we all act in the same interest globally to improve our community and improve the environment, then it's okay. I've done my job. After that, it's going to grow. But I think we have to start with what we have. We are privileged today to have the position we're in. Yes, we have businesses. We have the opportunity to create jobs, create better jobs, and be there as leaders that they can really look up and say, oh, maybe I want to start my own business on the same streams of values. Why not? Why not influence them that way?
And there are women business owners around the world now that are doing this.
Absolutely, yeah. And being more, I think, empathy. If I had 3 words today that I wished students would learn, would be the value of empathy, ethics, and purpose. I think those are really strong today.
And Danielle, you've been in business for, you said, 24 years. So how about you in the social and environmental objectives that you built your business on?
Well, I am in the what they call medical aesthetic, but actually I would call it I'm in the wellness business. I'm in the well-being business. I have always been. Without knowing that it was a wellness or well-being, I was actually defending the fact that we needed to be aware of what we put on our skin, what we do to our body, inside and outside. The fact that our skin is the largest respiratory organ. Lots of people don't know that. So whatever you put in or on, your skin goes in. So there are so many things that I was concerned and I wanted to share. It also had a more deeper purpose. The purpose was women have always been categorized, but the fact that we want to be pretty and we want to look young and we are obsessed with our body. And I would say that I have met many women that are not like that. But unfortunately, we don't see them, we don't hear about them. We need to have the courage to just accept who we are and to take care of ourselves the way we feel. Again, it goes back to being conscious of, I have the choice of taking care of me, of my body. I cannot be the puppet of someone that sells something and that I become the cobaye, trying these things to please someone else. I could make a choice of doing it. That doesn't mean that you don't need to look good. You could look good, but stay who you are. Be proud of who you are. So the combination of what I do is giving back, or talking about giving back the power to us. Let's take our power. Let's choose what we want to use, what we want to do to our body. The other thing is, socially, I think we women are prone to be mothers, right? Not everyone wants to be, and not everyone can be. But the one that wants to be, we have to remember that the body is like a temple. We're going to carry a baby. We're going to give life. So we can't do anything within our body. It's dangerous. That's the reason why I went into a direction that is natural, non-invasive, non-surgical. It is my way of saying you could still be beautiful. You could still do whatever you wish, but just be part of this movement of, I like who I am and the way I look. I don't need to be anyone else. That's what I do.
And that comes from between my ears more than anything else.
Absolutely.
My choice to accept that I was born short and that I was born with brown hair, whatever it is I'm choosing, but it's to accept.
We're different. Let's say it. We are unique, so we are different. There is not one Maureen anywhere else identical to you physiologically, psychologically, humanly. You're
That's
unique.
okay.
No, but seriously, thank you, God. But we are different. This is what we don't. We want to be like her. We want to look like her. You can't look like her no matter what you're going to do. So just to be okay, just to be at ease with this pressure that society. But actually, if we say stop, and we are, I'll take as an example, just a community. If within that community, women say, stop, enough. I'm going to say no more pressure. I want to be who I am. Stop telling me what to wear, the way I look, or the way I should look, or the way I speak, or if I should stay at home, or if I should be a businesswoman, or if I should stay just a worker. This is about us. It's about you. Take the decision for you. I think the pressure will be less if we start all saying enough.
You know, it seems like we are coming around again more full circle to take care of myself, take care of my community, take care of my family, And there are a package of choices I make every day. From the moment I get up, what do I put on my face and my skin? Do I color my hair? And it's not to say it's supposed to look frumpy. We're wearing high-heeled shoes, both of us.
Yes.
So
No.
this is not the anti-feminine club.
Absolutely. Fashion. We could be fashion, but we could be fashion more respectful of, Anie was talking about buying things locally. I buy 98% of my clothes from local designers. They make everything in Quebec. This is what I've decided to do for the longest that I remember, before even we were talking about helping, because I am an entrepreneur. I need people to buy from me. Mm-hmm. That's why I relate to any other businesses. What I want people to do for me, I'm going to do for others. This is giving back. You know, when we talk about giving back, and I never think about just making money. Money will come when you do the right thing with the right people, because you don't want every customer. You can't. But you want the right ones that belong to your way of thinking, your values. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to conquest the world. Absolutely not. But I remember that because of my actions, because of the fact that I was coherent for so long, then the public has decided that they wanted me to be a voice. I did not decide to be the voice. They said, and this is a privilege. I don't take it for granted. I am very careful because this is not mine. I speak in the name of others. So I have to be very careful about the way I think, the way I carry myself, because I'm responsible. I'm carrying certain responsibilities. People say, you're a model, you're my model. No, I don't want to be your model, neither your idol. I don't like it. I just want, and I wish, not even want, to be your inspiration. Take what you like, leave what you don't. It's okay.
And that's where both of you are quite the inspiration. And it is through telling stories and hearing the stories that these things are possible, that we're able to inspire. It's not the burning platform that I'm going to throw you into the water when your home burns. It's that I see that something else is possible, and that's what I aspire to. And both of you have illustrated that beautifully.
Thank you. Well, for us, I think the word impossible does not exist. I mean, every day we get someone somewhere to tell us that it is impossible. Of course, because sometimes my first question is, if someone says, Mrs. Henkel, this is not possible. I mean, don't go there. My first question is, did you try it? 99% of the time, that same person says, no, I have not. And I'm like, okay, so I'll try it. I may burn my finger, but it is my choice. But I'm not just going to take it is impossible because you have not even tried it.
And both of you try reasonable things.
Of course.
You're not blowing your business up.
No.
Well, we believe that we're able to do what we're doing. And mostly I have faith in a better world. I do have faith, and I have faith in people. And I have faith we're able to change altogether. So that's why I continue. That's why I'm happy to be here and sharing, because we need to do that. We need to share our stories.
And to measure.
As I think of people listening to this show, there are going to be some young women who hear you and are inspired. There are going to be some young men who want to follow a socially conscious corporation. What is the guidance that you would give? What would you say to someone who is considering?
As soon as you have the desire of starting a business, in my case, and you want to bring new changes, as soon as you put it on paper and you start talking about it, you've got 50% of the job done. Mm-hmm. So really, I know people have great ambition and have projects, and I did too. And I did not know if I would have started my business or not, and I didn't invent anything. I'm producing cleaning products and a body line. So it's not as if I was searching for the best ideas ever. Every idea is good, and we can start a business on any sort of product or services with our values So I know what you're asking, but sometimes it's hard to give one single thing. I think we're able to write and talk about what you want to do, and believe me, it's going to happen.
Thank you. But I would say that no matter who you are, what social ranking you are in, what your dreams can be, and what generation you are, honestly, it's never too late to do something, whatever you wish for. And it's not just about doing business. You could just be part of a business. You know, if you're 65 years old or 70 and you feel that you could contribute to a local business, just go. And if you wish to work for 2 days and give a hand, just have fun. Actually, it is about having fun. It is about participating to something that you all believe in. It doesn't matter what it is. Just go, just enjoy, just be part of. Actually, just rediscover you and them, because you may find things that are just amazing, impressive. When humans get together, oh my God, that's when we create the world. This is it. So let's get together. That's what I have as really a message. It's get together. Have the courage, actually.
Well, and the theme of the conference is courage.
Yes. Have the courage.
It does take courage.
Absolutely. Have the courage of going towards the unknown.
Tell me about a time you took a big risk, because it's easy to say courage, and I'm guessing both of you have hit points where you did something and you wish you had made a different choice.
Absolutely.
So tell us, because again, it's easy for people who hear your stories of success to think you got it right.
No. Okay. They need to understand that the road is filled with times when I went to bed discouraged, not thinking I was going to make it, but then again wake up the next morning with butterflies in my stomach, couldn't wait to go to the office, open the light, and start my day. It's a roller coaster. We do hit rock bottom many times, but I think what we learn and what we're made of is that we're able to just say, let's get up and start again. I've had moments where I was on trips and none of my credit card would work because I was completely loaded everywhere. I didn't have the money to pay my hotel rooms. But you continue and you find out ways, and at some point it makes sense to continue. But it's not an easy path, but I don't want to certainly sound like or discourage anyone. We have our own path, but I just want to say that even though we have those difficult moments, the rewards are much greater.
And what I wanted people to hear is,
We're human.
well, we're human, and it gets hard.
It does.
We have massive doubts that, how am I going to get through this?
And I had 2 young children of 3 and 4 years old when I decided to, like Danielle say, jump without my parachute. And every morning I would say, why am I doing this to them? I can find a job tomorrow morning. I have 2 arms, 2 legs, a head. I can start doing something, but yet something kept me in there for them. So really they were the reason why I continued, even though sometimes I was wondering, why am I doing this? Am I going to give them the future that my father gave me? Will they be able to go to school? God, I had all those questions. And now they're 10 and 12. They're part of the business. They come work every weekend with me. They're my models. They're part of it. And they're proud of their mother. And you know what, as a mother, there's nothing more gratifying than that.
It's true. Well, I would like to say that being an entrepreneur is not a trend nor a game. We are who we are. It's a profession. Being a surgeon, being a nurse, being a teacher, it's a choice. Well, being an entrepreneur, it is a choice, but we need to know that we're getting, like I said before, into the unknown and hard times ahead of us. I remember many days and many times where I didn't have 3 meals to put on the table. I have 4 children, 3 daughters and a son. They're all in the companies right now. But I remember going to the grocery store and filling out my card, the card, and getting to the cashier, where in front of everyone, your pride takes a hit when the cashier looks at you in front of everyone and says, sorry, it's not going through. So you have to empty half of your card in front of everyone. And in that card, I didn't have anything extra. It was the strict minimum. So I do know what it is to not have. And I do know what it is to be able, even today, to lose everything. We go through sacrifices, but I love what I do. And I will not change this for anything in the world. This is who I am.
You know, what shines through as I watch you is your values, that you put leaving the world better, being a role model for your children, creating an environment for people to follow ahead of making money. You still expect to make money. You still plan to pay the bills. But it is the view of values first that is a beautiful example. So for our listeners, can you give us how to contact you and how they would buy your products?
Oh, my God.
Including the ones who are out of the 500 miles.
Well, actually, the name of the company is the Unscented Company. So it's all available online. And they can certainly contact me personally with Anie at unscentedco.com.
For me, it's danielehenkel.com. You could reach me at danieleh at danielehenkel.com.
Thank you both.
Thank you, Maureen. It was lovely.